Peace, blessings, much respect, much love. It's your boy, the Ghetto Guru, aka Shango, coming back with another spiritual message. Hope all is well with y'all. Hope you're having a good day. If not, I hope the rest of your day get better. But I had a spiritual message for you, so I'm gonna get straight into it. So, this video is gonna be titled Happy New Moon in Libra, Solar Eclipse, and Introduction into Scorpio Season. Happy New Moon in Libra, Solar Eclipse, and Introduction into Scorpio Season. So, real straight to the point. For those that don't know, tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow is the new moon in Libra. We know new moons bring in new beginnings, new things, all that great stuff. We also in Libra season as well. So, if you haven't been paying attention, I spoke about this in a couple videos ago. We left out of Virgo season, which was the Virgin. That's what Virgo represents, innocence and purity. We went into Libra season now, which you see a lot of stuff coming out to the forefront and stuff. Why I brought up the Virgo is the aspect is because that Virgo represents innocence and purity. So all that stuff and scandals you see coming out and everything, that was that going into Libra season, because the innocence and the purity of people that we seen them in the lens that we seen them in and knew them for years, that got taken away and diminished going into Libra season, moving from Virgo into Libra season. So because of that, now those things are out. All the corruption, the evil, and just all the craziness that you see coming out in the public eye, and you might be seeing it in your personal life too, because whatever happens on the big stage happens in everyday life as well. So going into Libra season, those things are coming out because the scales have been out of balance for a long time, as far as corruption and wrong intentions and just a whole bunch of other bull crap that was on there with that. So it really hasn't been a lot of balance when it comes to balancing that out. So you see all that stuff coming out with people in the public eye and all that stuff. That's the reason why it's coming out now, going in towards Libra season. So because of that, those things have to come off the scale. I explained this in my video before that. Those things have to come off the scale. Corruption, evil intentions, bad intentions, wrongdoings, all that stuff that's been going on for centuries and beyond, way before we was born. So those things have to come off the scale. And now we have to put new things on the scale, which is good karma, good intentions, good doings, and being a good person. So those things have to get on the scale now to balance all of the evil doing and corruption and just wrongdoing and wrong intentions that's been happening for over centuries. So that's where we at now. So I had to explain all that so you could get a clear understanding where I'm going with all this, in case you missed the other videos I did. If not, check them out, please. Excuse me, if you did, check those out, please. So I'm gonna dive into that from the Libra season going into Scorpio season, or what we should expect to be seeing even more going into Scorpio season and the rest of this Libra season as well. So you already know when I do my masterclass, I gotta take my notes because I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget nothing. I don't want to forget no downloads I got or anything about the subject. So, I had to write it down. So, we're going to dive into this masterclass. So, let's get into it. And like I said, excuse me, because, when I'm getting the downloads, I just be scribbling and scrabbling all over the paper. So, sometimes I'll be looking like, what the hell I wrote? So, forgive me if I, had to reread some stuff to understand it. Because, like I said, it's like, I'm pretty sure all our writing is like that, but my writing is like hieroglyphics. Like very few could read it except for me. So, but anyway, all right. So like I said, tomorrow's the Libra new moon. Libra new moon is going to be displaying. If you haven't been seeing, it's going to be displaying justice and balance. Like I said, all the evil doing and corruption and all those things and the indictments and all the stuff we're seeing now, that's happening in Libra season right now because justice has to prevail. And it's been a long time before justice has prevailed in the right way. So that's why you're seeing those things happen. So, so that's one. Hold up, y'all. Had to put something on top of the bag so it don't fly out. So that's one thing, all right? So we're going to see a lot of display of justice. And it's no coincidence that the court system used the Lady of Justice, who holds the scale. That's not a coincidence either. It's a reason why they chose the Lady of Justice for the court systems as she's holding the scale. Because that's what Libra also represents as well. So you're going to see a lot of balancing out of justice during this time. So that's the first thing. Second thing, people pleasing. I went over this before. Libras have the tendency to people please. When I say that, I'm not saying that they're bad people or that they don't have their own minds. I'm saying because they like equality, and because Libra likes the balance of the scale, they can sometimes, hey, how you doing? They can sometimes get caught up in people pleasing because they want everybody to be happy. So if they're not careful of that, they can have a tendency to people please and do too much, or overcompensate too much, or doing too much, like we all like to say. So during this time, Libra season is going to be a lot of people pleasing. And why do I say that? Because what's happening right now? Well, people are trying to please people. Election time. It's not a coincidence that they have election time during Libra season. That's because both parties are trying to appease the people. So it's the reason why that's going on during Libra season. I tell y'all, they know all this stuff and they know the truth. It's the reason why they do stuff. You just got to study and see how they moving to understand what they doing. But this is the reason why they put it around this time with the debates, campaigning. Thank you, God. That's the right word I want to use for the election time. Campaigning. It's the reason why they do the campaigning and the debates and trying to get people to look at them in a certain way during, late September and October, because that's Libra season. That all deals with people pleasing. So we got to be mindful of that during the election time, to listen carefully to what's being said and not get caught up in what they're trying to do to appease the people, because we done seen it plenty of times where they'll say certain things and then when they get elected in office, it's a whole nother thing and they doing something different than what they said and told the people at first to get the people on their side. So just keep that in mind as well. That deals with Libra energy as well. So, also I have a feeling that also there's going to be a balancing out, especially in New York City, and other places outside of New York, but especially in New York, because it was happening a lot in New York, especially with the mayor and all that. A lot of people was complaining about certain things immigrants were getting and different things. I feel like that's going to be balanced out. I feel like the citizens and also the immigrants, everybody's going to get what they deserve. So there's going to be a balancing out of that as well. So keep an eye out for that. I got a download about that. So that's going to be balanced out in a way that it should, where everybody's going to get what they deserve. Even if it's different amounts, it's going to be something for everybody where they're going to be able to survive and be satisfied and be good for moving forward now on into the future, okay? So keep that in mind. So what's we got, guys? Okay. So just like I said about the balancing out between the immigrants and the citizens, and everybody getting what they deserve and everybody getting equality, even if somebody might be getting more, but everybody's going to have enough for themselves. So that's not only going to be for the people, that's also going to be for people that's working in these industries, these corporations, and these factories as well. So there's going to be better treatment and better pay and just more resources that the people that's working in these industries and these companies, these corporations rather, and these factories, there's going to be more resources, more better treatment, and more equal, like I said, resources and pay going forward. But it's all going to be talked about and it's all going to be getting solved during this Libra season, which like I said, is the balancing out of the scales and people pleasing. But in this case, the people pleasing is going to be a good thing because they're trying to make sure that everybody gets what they deserve and everybody gets what they need and what they earn. So keep that in mind as well. So that's another thing that's going to be happening with this Libra new moon and for the rest of the Libra season. And also, like I said, going into election time. So right now we got the campaigns and all that stuff, the Libra season, but the actual election, when it's time to put the votes, that's all going to start like towards going into November and all that. That's like right into Scorpio energy. So this is where I wanted to tie you into about, we in this Libra energy right now, but how you doing? But we got to be mindful and pay attention to the energy that's going to be leading us into Scorpio, because like I said, during election times, people like to play dirty. So we went from Virgo energy where everybody was innocent and pure and they was representing themselves as a certain way. Then going into Libra season, everybody mask fell off of that innocence and that purity, and little jabs and certain stuff is coming out with people, and even bigger stuff is coming out with people depending on the level of it. Now going to Scorpio, it's going to get real dark because, well, before I explain that, I'll leave that for later on because I got some notes on that. But just to introduce you into that, just keep in mind now, because election things are going to get revealed even more from both candidates and just overall, and that's going towards Scorpio energy. So just keep that in mind. Also, we just had the Pisces full moon, which was last month, I believe. Yeah, last month, which I explained, because we also know Gemini to be duality. So everybody knows Gemini for having the twins. But we don't realize that Pisces also has duality, but in a different way. So Gemini duality is going to be the twins. So that's multiple personalities, different, two people in one body. But with the Pisces duality, that represents, one fish represents the physical realm and the other one represents the spiritual realm. And I broke that down about men, the masculine energy ruling the physical. That's why men are always looked at down here on earth to provide, to lead, and to conquer and all that. But in the spiritual realm, women, feminine energy rules that. So that's why women carry babies, the menstrual cycles same as the moon cycle. Like, it's a different connection to the ethers of the spiritual realm. Like I said, it's different when you're carrying a life in your body for 9 months. A man cannot relate to that at all. That's a different spiritual connection. Same way as certain stuff that a man is going to be able to do down here in the physical realm that a woman can't relate to either. So those are the dualities of the Pisces energy and why I explain that. So why I'm explaining that, I'm going to connect that to now. So that was that energy with the duality with the Pisces full moon that we just had. The physical and the spiritual realm, masculine and feminine. So exploring the details of the water. Oh, and I was also representing the water sign, Pisces, exploring the deeper depths of the water, searching for truth, seeking for truth. And I'll connect how that moon, full moon, connects to this Libra moon going towards Scorpio season as we continue forward. So now with the Libra moon, truth, like I said, with the Libra moon, truths are being brought to the forefront. So in another metaphor way I could say is that the truths are all coming flowing to the surface to be seen and noticed. So that's why I brought up the Pisces full moon that we just had last month, because that was represented going into the deep dark waters, the truth and everything that we see happening now on the world stage. And now Libra season has brought all those truths up from the deep depths of the water. Now it's bringing it to the forefront and it's floating on top of the surface for everybody to seek and for everybody to see, and it's being revealed to everybody to analyze. Thank you, God. That's the word I was looking for. So we got that part. Now here go to Scorpio season. This is going to lead us into Scorpio season. If you didn't know, just like that, Pisces is a water sign, like I said. Scorpio is also a water sign as well. So, except that's the word I was gonna say. Cause like I said, give me a minute. Cause like I said, I'll be scribbling when I'm getting these downloads. So, with Pisces, with the full moon, we went into the water to dive deep into the depths of the water to seek truth. This time, with the Scorpio energy, Scorpio represents the underworld. When I say underworld, I mean the shadow world, meaning things that the average person would not know unless they dive into the underworld. Not everybody is allowed access into Scorpio energy, representing the underworld, representing the shadow world. So that energy we're taking that energy going into Scorpio season. That's why I brought up the election votes and all that happening in November and all that stuff during Scorpio season, because that's all that represented, all that playing dirty, digging up dirt, because Scorpion, they can hide in the soil, dirt, anywhere, camouflage, anything. Waiting to attack, that's all that sneakiness, all that extra stuff that you got to watch out and watch your back for and stuff like that. People trying to stab you in the back, which is no coincidence, because Scorpions are Scorpions represent Scorpio as, stinging. So there's no coincidence, like I said, you gotta watch out, be careful for that, stabbing in the back, little secrets, little dark thing. Yeah. So you gotta watch out for those things. And yeah, so that's why I brought that up about that. So just keep that in mind during that time, to be careful, watch out for that, and to also be on the lookout, because a lot of things are going to be getting revealed because of that. So the Pisces let us into the water to get the deep dark truths and the secrets, and now those things are getting revealed to the surface of the water during Libra moon and Libra season, and going into Scorpio season, that truths and all that's out in the open are now going to lead people into more deeper dark truths into the underworld, which is represented by Scorpio energy, the shadow world. So that's that. So also, this is another reason why we see a lot of people on the world stage passing away. There's been a lot of people that's been passing away, but like I said, Scorpio energy represents also death, rebirth, and transformation. So this is why we see a lot of deaths happening on the world stage. It might even happen in your personal life as well, but it's a reason why, even though we're in Libra season, those energies carry over into the next season. So this is why you see it happening even more as we continue to go towards Scorpio season, because like I said, it represents transformation and rebirth, but it also represents death as well. So this is why we see that. Okay. Oh, with that also, as there is death in the world will take that energy to alchemize and transform it into another form. That's why I said, even though Scorpio could represent darkness and the deep depths of the underworld, it also represents transformation. It also represents rebirth, like I said, but it also represents, but with that death and that rebirth comes the transformation. So I don't know where you're at in the world watching this, but the past few days in New York, it's been really dark and gloomy and rainy. And I feel like that's just because of the collective energy of the world all tapping in to the energies and all the articles and the storylines that was going on. So we got a whole world tapping into a certain energy, and everybody's eyes is on a certain story. That magnetizes that magnetizes the energy of whatever that is that people was watching or talking about. It makes the energy and it gives it that much more potency because of the focus that everybody's putting into it. So this is why I'm saying that's why I was gloomy, the past week and a half, because everybody's paying attention to all the stuff that's been happening in the headlines with all these things going on with, I don't even want to say their names, but we all know. We all hear the stories. And there's a reason why. But that's why it's been so gloomy like that too, because everybody's tuning into that and it's very dark information. So with that, it's not going to be the best energy when everybody's putting their focus towards that, because everybody's going to be in a gloomy and dark mood. So, but with that, there's going to come a lot of transformation, because we're going to alchemize that together as a collective, going towards, as we continue into this Libra season and go towards Scorpio season. So we're going to alchemize that and transform, because Libra season is bringing equality and justice. So we're going to transform all that negative energy into something positive to make a way and figure out a process of how we all can do better and how we all can treat people better and make sure that people don't get done dirty or don't get taken advantage of, because that's a big thing that's in the storylines, and just we've been hearing a lot when it comes to people, especially to the adolescents and the youth growing up and doing different things in these industries, these factories, and these corporations. So we got to keep that in mind too. So that's all important information as well, going into continuing into this Libra season, going into Scorpio season as well. So that's that. Also, dealing with Scorpio energy, going towards that as we continue out from Libra into Scorpio, you got to be mindful of being more secretive, being more mysterious, and what's the other word I said? And becoming more tactical. So being more secretive, but keep being more mysterious and being more tactical, because that's another trait that Scorpio has, which they can use to their advantage. So I'm saying that when it comes to your ideas or your moves or different things you're planning to do, or just overall things that you feel somebody could sabotage, keep it to yourself until you get it done, and keep it to yourself until you make the move, or until things come into fruition like they're supposed to. Because people also, even though Scorpio traits have that about being mysterious, having the power to have magnetism, drawing people in without even doing nothing. Prince was very good at that. Even though he's a Gemini, he had a Scorpio ascendant. So this is why we look at Prince's face. He looks very magnetizing, and he draws people in. A lot of people will say they don't even know what drew them into Prince or why, but that's because he has a Scorpio ascendant. Even though he's a Gemini, the way the world perceives him is the Scorpio, and that's the intensity. Thank you guys on the word. And Scorpios are very intense as well, so they have intensity. The intensity draws people in, and that's where the magnetism comes in. So just keep that in mind as well going into Scorpio season. Oh, and that's another thing I was gonna say before I forgot. Saying that, another trait of Scorpio could be jealousy. They get very jealous and they're very possessive if they're not careful of taming that side of them. So this is what I'm saying, be careful going into Scorpio season. And this is why I'm telling you to be a little more secretive, mysterious, and more quiet to draw things in and use your magnetism, because there are going to be a lot more people that's going to be doing jealous things, and they're going to be doing very possessive things. And if they feel like you're going to get ahead, or you're going to move on without them, or if they feel like you got something that has more flavor in the pot than they can offer, they're going to do very cutthroat things. So just be mindful of that when it comes to your moves and your actions and things you're doing. So just remember that. All right, so that's that. Also, just like I said, we all know Scorpio is represented by the Scorpion, so they're very good at hiding and very good at camouflaging and knowing how to pop out and when to attack. So also use that energy as well of knowing how to play the background, knowing how to blend in, but also be seen and knowing when to attack. So that's part of what I was saying about being secretive, mysterious, but also, what was the other word? Secret, mysterious, and being tactical. So that's all with that. Thank you, God. That's the other thing I want to say. Why I said tactical, because that's another Scorpio trait, and they rule is very good, very great over a lot of other signs, because this is their niche. Scorpios are very great at strategy, and that's back to the tactical, like I said, and being moving in silence. Be very tactical, move in silence. Practice your magnetism even more during that time of Scorpio season, but also remember to have strategy. And don't let everybody know your strategy. So be unpredictable, so nobody can know what your next move is, because that's going to be important going into Scorpio season with a lot of things we're doing. So just keep that in mind as well. And also strike while the iron is hot. And why I said that quote, because like I said, Scorpio is represented by the Scorpion. What does the Scorpion do? It strikes with stinging you. So strike while the iron is hot. Okay. Oh, you already said that about working on the magnetism. Also, I don't know why, but when I got that part, when I wrote that about focus on your magnetism more going into the Scorpio season, I heard Magneto. He was good at using his magnetism and being very magnetic. So I don't know, maybe somebody needs to go watch that or study something with him during this time, or it be something that's represented with him that you could further elaborate on. But just keep that in mind as well, Magneto. And that's it, man. Thought I had more notes. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It wasn't too long of a video that then I thought it was gonna be like 30 minutes, but it's pretty short. It's not that long, rather. Excuse me, I was getting caught up in my words, got distracted. But yeah, it's not that long of a video. I thought it'd be 30 minutes, but it's not. So that's a good thing as well. So that's straight to the point. Just remember that Libra new moon. Just keep the balance, the justice, the equality, and make sure you're bringing in the new when it comes to that. But also keep in mind of going into Scorpio season to be more secretive, more tactical, and more, what's the other word I said? Secretive, tactical, and mysterious, because those are all Scorpio traits, because people are going to be showing their jealousy and their possessiveness even more, which also is a Scorpio trait. So be mindful of that when it comes to how you move and things that you're pursuing and things that you're trying to bring into action, because you don't want that to mess up anything when it comes to your future plans. So just keep that in mind. So peace, blessing, much respect, much love. I love y'all always. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your support. Thank y'all for watching and liking the videos. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get all notifications for future videos. And like I always say, whether we run, whether we jog, whether we sprint or crawl, because life is that hard sometimes. You can't run, you can't jog, you can't sprint. Only thing we can do is crawl to our destination sometimes. But like I always say, somehow, some way, we gotta make it to our destination someday. So peace, blessings, much respect, much love. I love y'all always. I appreciate the support. Like I said, keep doing your thing. Stay focused, stay goal oriented, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next topic. Peace.